Oh, hi again. I should have made this tripod higher. But it didn't. I'm already losing it. But hi, we're gonna try to vlog again a little bit. And y'all entertained me on my cheesy intro last time, so we're back again. So first things first, because I literally just woke up and it's 11:40. I slept in, well, went to bed at like 3. But anyway, first things first is coffee and food. And lip balm, because I went to bed without it last night and I have regrets. So I'm an iced coffee bitch, and I kept forgetting to make a pot of coffee and chill it, and so started making it in a way where I don't have to do that, and it's just become my new habit. So we're gonna do that. I don't know if I can actually show you, but I'm gonna try. We're gonna use my trusty, obnoxious cup. I lied. I said the first thing was coffee and food. The first thing was washing some dishes. Was, whatever. There are more to be washed. I can't be fucking bothered. I do anywhere between 1/3 and 1/2 cup of water. I throw it in the microwave to make it hot. You could boil it. I'm lazy. While the water was microwaving, I also pulled out things for breakfast. Something that I often do, so often that I'm out of it, is add cajeta to my coffee because it's delicious and sweet, but I used it up. So I'm gonna put my tablespoon of instant coffee in my big cup, and I'm gonna add some sugar because I like my coffee sweet and creamy. And for everyone that likes their coffee differently, awesome, enjoy it. I'm so happy you're into that. I drink coffee in other forms too, but iced coffee, kind of sweet, a little sweet and creamy, is the shit. I'm roughly estimating a half of a tablespoon of sugar. I don't know. And I'll just throw in literally a splash of vanilla extract because one of these days actually, I will make vanilla syrup, which is very easy and it's sweet and vanilla at the same time. But I need to get some jars and things, some heat-proof shit, and I'm not going to do that until I actually move. So I grab my little straw, I have dry stuff in my cup, I add the hot stuff. And just mix. You could also do it in this thing, but if I only put water in it and heat up water, I don't have to wash it as often. No comments on that. Ice. Now I don't know if this is a supply chain issue or just a Mexico thing or what, but especially ever since the hurricane, getting ice. So I tend to use grocery delivery, and every place that's walkable to me, even a convenience store, if I walked back with ice, I would just have water. And I love cold drinks and I love ice. I just do. So anyway, again, I don't have ice trays right now, so you know, when you don't have ice trays, you can always just freeze water in a pan and then make ice shards. Whatever. Sometimes I'll actually like measure to see how much ice I'm adding. I don't care today. And by measure, what I mean is that technically I think a tablespoon of the coffee that I put in mixed with a cup of water is like the traditional proportions. Because it's hot, because I did a smaller amount of water and hot, so it would dissolve, the ice, you know, cools it down rather than just adding cold water. But a lot of times I just don't care, and I have big pieces of ice that don't fit. So it looks something like that. Some of the ice is already melting, some of it's not. Cool, great, awesome, creamy. My new city here in Mexico, I can actually find oat milk. Makes me very happy. And the Chobani is good. Oatly is still my top favorite, but the Chobani plain extra creamy is good. It doesn't have, like, I think it has some added sweetener. Anyway, but it's not like specifically sweetened or vanilla. Maybe it is sweetened. I don't know. Anyway, I love oat milk. It's the only non-cow milk that really works in my iced coffee. And I tried a lot. I've tried a lot of like alternatives because lactose intolerance is a thing, but also I don't know, sometimes I just don't care about my body. So again, I'm just eyeballing it today. Pretty good. It's pretty good. I think I've started getting used to my coffee being a little sweeter than I used to drink it. So I'm almost tempted to add some sugar, but also I'm gonna let the ice do its thing and dilute a little bit. Yeah, so you know. That's my morning coffee. And yes, it pretty much always fills this cup. And when I'm not talking through it, this is a fast process, but me talking right now and doing things is slowing me down. I was gonna try to talk and cook, but I realized my cooking makes a lot of noise, so I'm going to cook and maybe I'll talk with y'all while I'm eating. I'm excited. I haven't shared, and I'll tell you about this, but I'm excited because I'm going to have a stove situation where I might actually be able to film myself cooking much easier. Okay, I'm gonna stop filming, make the breakfast, we'll be back. Oh, here is my go-to breakfast lately. I make some rice. I season it with garlic powder, some Parmesan cheese, some paprika, some butter, paprika, not paprika. I don't say paprika, I say paprika. This is pretty much a regular from when I vlogged last time. I love cherry tomatoes, and I'll just cut them in half and cook them on high heat and butter, and add some scallions. And then I've been frying eggs, and this is totally because of my work, but I've been using this new egg frying technique and I really like it. So yeah, maybe I'll share it. I'll put it on the screen right now, what I do. Not me doing it, just the recipe, because it's handy. So anyway, I'm just gonna turn off the camera, do that stuff, and I'll be back to talk to y'all kind of while I eat. We'll figure it out. Hello again. That took so much longer than it should have because nothing like accidentally pouring too much salt into something and then having to correct it 2 different ways. So I made rice with eggs and tomato, but I underestimated the ability of this little salt shaker. Well, I probably had opened it. Anyway, my tomatoes got super salty, so then I made more rice, and then I ended up having to make more tomatoes to make it work. Should I have just thrown out the tomatoes and started over? Sure, but I didn't. It's still just a bit too salty, but I'm a stubborn motherfucker. So anyway, my eggs are probably ice cold now. Let me tell you, eating on the internet as a fat person is a very fraught thing. So I'm both trying to like embrace the fact that I do it sometimes, Like, I'm trying to embrace doing it sometimes, but not a lot. So anyway, I kept thinking about doing, well, I did film a Get Ready With Me where I talked about life updates, but I filmed it in a different spot, and I don't know, my camera was like, yeah, we don't like this. We're gonna make it grainy, even though I felt like I had good lighting. But it's just been a very stressful couple of weeks. So if you saw my last vlog, I did relocate. Editing Emily here to say the stories I was trying to tell at this part in the vlog are very long and kind of convoluted. I will tell those stories in the future, but because there are other parts of this vlog that I want to get to, we're just going to skip them for now, and we're going to go to some post-shower dancing times. Let's put on a little makeup and talk about Grief Week. So, as if you listen to the first part of this video, so you can tell, I had a stressful start to the October. And October's, like, I adore Halloween. I love how it is a holiday that adults really can have fun with, but it's also completely for kids too. And I feel like as an adult, I keep trying to like really enjoy and celebrate October. But Octobers tend to be kind of rough. And in particular, the last part of the month. So I have very lovingly called the last week of October Grief Week, because I lost 2 dear friends in that week of time, different years. So basically, when I was a junior in college, Alex, who was somebody that I literally met in kindergarten, and we stayed friends on and off throughout the years, mostly on. There was a little gap, like when we were very young, but like I would say, if my brain is correct, 4th or 5th grade on, we were very, very close. When I was I think junior in college, she passed away in a car accident. And yeah, I was actually like, so she stayed in our hometown for college, but was incredibly adventurous. She was the friend with the car. She had been the friend with the car from as young as possibly could drive. And I remember she invited me to go to this concert with her. It was John Legend, and this is back when John Legend had just released Ordinary People. Like, I think it probably hadn't even truly hit big yet. Like, it was popular, but not what it became, if that makes sense. And she asked me if I wanted to go with her to this concert. So I grew up, I'm from North Carolina, and the town that we both grew up in is on the west side of the state. And I went to college in Raleigh, in the capital, which is pretty much smack dab in the center of the state. And she was going to this concert at the beach on the west side. So she was like, look, I'm coming through Raleigh anyway, like, come with me. And, you know, I have college, and it was Halloween weekend, and I think, yeah, there was like the big art school Halloween party, which I think I had never really been cool enough to be invited with friends, like have a friend that was in the know enough to invite me. So I turned her down, and that was a car accident when she was going to Wilmington. And so, you know, it's hard not to think about what ifs, but obviously the what if could also be that we both lost our life that day. So, you know, my what ifs have changed, but the what if is still there. So yeah, that happened when I was a junior in college. And then a couple of years after college, I think it was about 5 years later, because yeah, I think they were 5 years apart. My friend Christine, who was a friend that I met in college. I met when I was a freshman, and we became pretty quick friends. Okay, battery change. Now we're back. I get them mixed up because that's my brain. But I think Alex's was on the 29th. And then, yeah, and then 5 years later, Christine, who I think I was describing, was, you know, this best friend, super close friend from college. We met freshman year, had kind of a rough start, which I've told that story, I think, on a couple of live streams, but maybe I'll tell it again. We'll see. But yeah, we were fast friends once we got over our initial, once she got over her shit, I'll say. And she passed away. We're still not sure. Could have been medicine interaction gone wrong, and it could have not been that. And by that I mean it could have been by her hand. And I say that with all love, all compassion for myself and her friends and her family, but those were the realities. And we had kind of grown apart, and of course, you know, I hold some guilt for that, because I have those habits of just like sometimes turtling or getting distracted with life. And anyway, we were literally in different places. I was living in New York, and she had actually moved out from North Carolina. I don't know, I'm like, do I want to give too much information? Anyway, so all of that to say, one happened on the 29th and one happened on the 25th, years apart. And yeah, it's been like 15 years, maybe 16 now, 16 and 11. I think last year it was 10 and 15 years. But I don't know, I mean, grief is just complicated, and I think it's the most, like, not that we need to rank emotions, but it feels like one of the most complicated emotions and processes that we have to go through in our lives. So anyway, I was honestly worried at how stressed the first part of the month had made me, because I know that this last week is oftentimes just a lot. And as I have talked a lot on here, I have a hard time keeping track of time. I heard somebody describe it as time dysphoria, and I think that's pretty accurate, but I'm still trying to figure out if that's like the right word for me or right phrase. But anyway, I have a hard time with time. And there have been so many years where like I all of a sudden I'm like, why the fuck do I feel so bad? Why does my body feel so bad? What the hell is going on? I fucking hate this shit. And then I look at the calendar and I'm like, oh, it's the last week of October. Okay, cool. Glad to know, like clockwork, it shows back up. So the fact that like after everything happened, after everything happened with the package and the apartment process and everything, the fact that I was cognizant of like, oh, it's October, bitch, it's October. I was actually really proud of myself, because like I never want this to be a hard time of year, but if I can be aware of it ahead of time, that feels so much better. It just does. So yeah, I am aware of it. This last week was a really just like heavy work week. Like I was just doing a ton of work between, well, I think the problem too is that a lot of it was like a start and stop kind of work. So I felt like every day I was like, I really want to film, and then like the day would fucking go by, or I'd be like, maybe I'll start doing some makeup before I get into work, and then like it would just not happen. And like, of course I'm happy to have work, of course I'm like, you know, there's all that stuff that's there, but like I like making videos and filming. I've been feeling a little stuck on ideas, if I'm being honest. I'm feeling a little creatively uninspired, but I think a lot of that stems from frustration with the whole package thing, because this move has meant a totally different level of access to new makeup, especially new indie makeup, and I was like excited that I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this stuff and I can talk about it and play with it and all of that, and then that all fell through. So this is interesting. I'm going out in the world, and makeup and me and sweating and masks is tricky, but since this is a Danessa cream, I thought I would give it a try with Prophecy, which has been that bitch for me. Like, Prophecy is fall in a highlighter or fall in a multi-chrome for me, because I'm not always like an orange, red, smoky eye kind of person. I know I just wore that in New Makeup Nonsense Bingo, but like the highlighter to me screams fall without being a fall color. Anyway, and I'm trying it with, I'm trying this blusher because it's cream, but it like sets down. I don't know, we'll see. It might not hold up at all. I'm not doing any brows. I'm gonna do a little bit of this skinny mascara just to like coat the lashes. But yeah, except I just fucking shoved it on. Okay, we're just gonna let that sit there for a moment. So yeah, grief week is coming. I am planning, having gotten some advice from some of my friends on the internet, of like different ways to hold space for this, planning on doing some of that tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm really, after last week and knowing that I have this week coming, I was trying to really just give myself like the weekend off in a lot of ways. And by off, I mean off of thinking about work, off of looking at my email, because my personal email is my business email basically, because freelance life. And just like, yes, I'm doing stuff when it comes to, you know, like going out in the world, filming this, you know, but not doing work things. Okay. I still love the matte gel eyeliners from Marc Jacobs. These and the Fenty matte ones. I wish they would come out with more colors. I mean, I don't expect Marc Jacobs to be doing that right now, but Fenty, please. Okay. That's fine. I'm throwing a little gloss. I'm not even fucking with my brows. Yeah, I'm gonna have a mask off and on, so I'm just gonna put on some gloss. Just gonna use my viewfinder. This is also still that bitch. The Fenty Gloss Bomb, the original. So yeah, that's a little simple, hopefully kind of sort of heat-proof look. So yeah, basically I just basically the coming week might be extra hard for a lot of reasons, but I'm I'm okay with that. At least I am right now. Yeah, it's just, it's interesting. Like, I don't know. I have a lot of complex feelings about all of this, because I think in general there's a lot of, like, if you lose a family member, I feel like the whole, like, having heavy feelings even 10, 15 years later is more accepted. But I feel like when it's just a friend, it's not. Fuck that. These were amazing people. They were loud, wonderful, fat women who obviously, and I think it's like the longer you don't have them, the more you realize how much they impacted your life when they were here. And they still impact my life. Okay. It's okay. Crying is okay. I don't want to already mess up my makeup. So, on that note, now that I got to the actual core of why I wanted to talk about Grief Week, let's go out in the world. Very excited to go to this Asian bodega, which was kind of more of like a restaurant supply meets Asian grocery store. I picked up some homemade miso, some ramen, and some condiments. Further south I walked in Centro, the nicer, fancier it got, and I think this moment in the street was where I noticed the change. This graffiti signified I had arrived at another purposeful part of this trip, which is I thought it was a Korean market. You can also see a moment of my makeup look surviving the heat. The Danessa Myricks color fix really came through. My adventure into Centro resulted in 3 corn dogs and these little pastry buddies. One of these corn dogs is actually a hot dog. One of them is cheese, and one of them is a cheesy sausage. And I think this is a ramen coating, and these are potatoes. And I think this is the original. And then 3 different sauces. I thought this was a actual like market with Korean food, but it's more of like a to-go/delivery food option. But somebody that worked there said they are going to start making homemade kimchi, and so I will definitely be back. Saturday night meant that it was Audra movie night, which is always a cozy good time. And then we headed into Sunday, and I'm just showing you a little bit of how I honored my grief and how I gave myself some rest and time for joy and sadness. And I think that's actually the end of the vlog. I'm gonna leave you with me in the pool, living my best life. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I hope you enjoyed. And don't forget to take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday, because you are worth it. Bye, friends.